So yeah, so if you're watching this, you're probably in business, right? You have an idea, you have a side hustle, you just launched, or you've been in the game for a few years now. Whatever stage you're at, I know that you're always looking for ways to grow and market yourself in new and fresh ways, right? Most of us are like that guy in the Everest college commercial where he's like, you're sitting on your couch letting your life pass you by and you're wondering, do I really need SEO? That was an awful impersonation. But the point is, you've probably heard about SEO. You've heard that you can get more traffic on your website from Google. And it's true, like with good SEO, you can pretty much get traffic 24/7 and promote your website pretty much on autopilot. But there are so many marketing and sales channels out there, and each one takes a lot of time and money. So you have to choose, right? Why SEO out of all the channels out there? Do you really need it? Is it right for you and your business? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know you. I don't know your business. But in this workshop, I'm going to answer this question by showing you 3 situations when SEO is not a good idea for your business. So this is obviously not a sales pitch. Uh, this is the complete opposite of a sales pitch. This is like an anti-sales pitch. If you see yourself in these 3 situations, don't hire me because I won't be able to help you out. So for those that don't know, my name is Daniela. I'm a search engine optimization consultant, and I have an agency called Findable. And so we help businesses increase their website traffic, but most importantly, increase their sales. So we do that by making their websites easy to find on search engines like Google, Bing, and Yahoo. And so we only take on clients that we know we can really help, that we know that are in a position that can really reap the benefits of SEO. So what I'm going to tell you are things that we look for before we take on a new client. And before we start, I have a disclaimer. I need to clarify something. When we hear about SEO, we immediately think of keywords or blogging, right? Technical SEO often gets overlooked. And when I say technical SEO, I'm talking about crawlability, sitemaps, link health. They definitely aren't sexy. They don't sound sexy, but they make up the foundation to having a findable website. So something I want to clarify is that every business needs good technical SEO. And if you have a small website, this is very quick and easy. You can probably do it on your own. And if you have a local business, you're going to need a Google My Business account, and you're going to have to work on your local SEO. So if you're interested in learning more about local SEO, let me know in the comments and we can definitely make this a topic for one of our workshops. So when I give examples of situations when you don't need SEO, what I'm referring to is content SEO. Do you need a blog? Do you need to do keyword research? And at the bare minimum, the only keyword you need to rank for on Google is your business name. Your business name should be easy to find. If your customers are explicitly looking for your company name online, and they can't find it easily, that's a problem. That's a fat problem. That's a morbidly obese problem. So like imagine someone met you at a conference, right? And you paid good money to be at this conference, or they hired you 5 years ago. So they're a previous client of yours, but they lost your contact information. They lost your business card. So they think, okay, no problem. I'm just going to Google her or his name and look for their email or their phone number that way. And so they go into Google and they search you and they search you and they search you and they can't find you. That's bad, right? Like that means that you're leaving money on the table. So in that situation, yes, you definitely need to fix on your SEO. But besides your company name, you really don't need to rank for any other keywords. I would say that's the only must that all businesses need to have, whether you're a plumber or a graphic designer, everyone needs that. Everything else depends, right? Whether you should rank for your services, like your service pages or your blog posts, that really depends on your goals and your strategy. For example, like with my company, I want to rank for the keywords findable digital marketing. I want that to be number 1. If it's not, I'm not doing my job correctly. But do I need to rank for the keywords SEO services Toronto? Do I need to rank for my blog post? That depends on my goals and my strategy. There's no one size fits all solution. So these are the 3 situations that when content SEO is not a good fit for your business. And so this could be for your entire business, your entire website, or it could be a part of it. So you might decide that you want to market some services or some parts of your website, but not others using SEO. So you might rely on referral for some services, but SEO for another, for example. So here are the three situations: when you're not searchable, when your customers aren't online, and when you need results fast. So we're going to go into each one by one. So the first one, when you're not searchable. Okay, let's use an example for this. Let's use bubble tea. I love bubble tea. I'm obsessed with bubble tea. My favorite is a jasmine milk tea with no ice, no sugar, and an extra tapioca pearls. I love, love, love bubble tea. And so every city I go to, every new neighborhood I go to, the first thing I do is I pull up my phone and I Google bubble tea near me. And within, I would say like a minute, I already have a list of maybe 2 or 3 locations, 2 or 3 cafes that I want to go to, and I'm able to make a buying decision that way. So how am I able to do that? I'm able to do that because I know what bubble tea is. I know what it's called, and I know the language that I'm supposed to use, right? I know what I'm looking for. So in other words, bubble tea is searchable. And this is the number one situation you have to be in order to use SEO, because we have to know what we want. We have to know what we're looking for before we use a search engine, right? That's why it's called a search engine. So if you're a business that is promoting a product or a service or even an idea that has never existed, that you invented something, or that something that people have never heard about, search engines are going to be useless for you. SEO is not going to be a good marketing strategy for you, or at least not at this point in your business. Because what you need to focus on is educating and building awareness among your customers. You want to get to the point where your product is searchable, where people have the name of your product or service or what it is that you do in their vocabulary. So you're going to have to work on other marketing channels that are going to do this for you. And then later on down the line, you can work on SEO. Just as like a side note, be careful not to do the opposite. So what I mean by this is, don't make yourself not searchable by inventing a name for something that there's already a name for. I see this a lot in the creative and tech industry. The other day I was on a website and this person called himself a word sorcerer. And I was like, what is that? What is a word sorcerer? Do you mean professional writer? So in that situation, I would tell the person, like, call yourself a professional writer, a copywriter, a content writer, right? By not using the language that your audience is using, you're making yourself unsearchable. You're making it difficult for people to find you because you're inventing language. So, okay, that was the first situation. Let's get into the second. So the second situation is when your customers are not online. So what I mean by this is, you're searchable, you have a product or service that people know of, they have the language, but your customers are intentionally choosing not to search for your product or your service online. And so if you want to know if you fall into this category, I would ask yourself, if you want to know if you fall into this category, ask yourself these 2 questions. The first is, how do your customers make their buying decision? And the second is, how much do your customers rely and trust the internet for information? So let's break down these questions and get into more detail. So the first one, how do they make buying decisions? A simple example would be senior citizens, right? Anyone that is over the age of 65, maybe they're not tech savvy, they're definitely not going to Google, they're not going to the internet to look for information and make a buying decision. That's a simple example. Another example that's a little bit more complex would be anyone that's targeting millionaires, like luxury services, right? So let's say you're a travel agent or a real estate agent and you sell luxury homes. So the first thing that you would think of is probably, okay, I want to target for the keywords luxury homes. Whenever someone searches that, I want to be number 1. And so let's think about this. Let's think about your target audience and how they make buying decisions. Realistically, do we think that millionaires around the world right now are searching luxury homes before they buy a house? Chances are they're not. Why? Well, money knows money, right? If you're going to spend $1 million on a house and you want it to be luxurious, and you don't want the house to just be luxurious, but you want it to be, you want to be treated like luxury through your real estate agent service relationship, then you're going to make a decision based on referrals. You're going to refer to other people that have bought luxurious homes, that know what luxury is, that know what money is, and get their feedback. So I would think about your customer and their buying decisions. So who's searching for luxury homes? Typically, the kind of people that are searching for luxury homes or luxury anything are people that are aspiring to purchase that thing. They don't know what luxury homes, like myself, we don't know what luxury homes look like. So we look for it on Google and we put them on our vision board. So the second question is, how much do they rely and trust on the internet? So this is kind of similar to what I said, that millionaires don't trust the internet to tell them what luxury is, right? They rely on other people that live that luxurious experience. Another example would be food. So before COVID-19, people did not rely on the internet to do their grocery shopping. It was too much of a risk. They wanted to go in person to the stores and touch the food and buy it themselves. And luckily, this is changing. We're becoming a lot more open to this. So again, think about your customers and think about how they make their buying decisions. Think about the phases that they go through, and to figure out if you fit this situation, if you find yourself in this situation. So this is not to say that there is no space for content SEO in this situation, right? It just means that you're going to have to manage your expectations. So it might mean that SEO is not going to be a primary sales generator for you. So using the example of the luxury travel agent, or the real estate agent, I would tell this person that SEO is probably not going to account for 100 or 80% of your sales, probably ever. It might just make up 20%. So by knowing that, you can manage your expectations and you can be creative in finding ways that SEO can fit into the puzzle. So an example of this, of how I would be creative and try to find a way to use SEO to target millionaires buying a house, is that I would study their entire buying decision process. So I would look for all the stages that they go through before they decide to buy a house. And instead of targeting keywords or the phase when they're buying a specific house in a specific city, I would go before that. Before they buy a house and look for house listings, I would target people that are deciding where they want to live, when they're debating which city they should move to. So instead of targeting the keywords luxury homes, I would target keywords like cities with the best golf courses, cities with the most gated communities, cities with low property tax. You see what I mean? I'm understanding the kind of questions that they're asking themselves and creating content accordingly. So hopefully someone that searches cities with the best golf course, your real estate agent will come up first. And people can say, okay, wow, this person really knows a lot about the city. They know exactly what I'm looking for. Let me reach out to them and see if they can help me out. So you're targeting your clients before they even make the buying decision. Sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent. But I want you to see that sometimes there's not a clear-cut no, SEO is not good for you. Sometimes you got to be creative with it. So the third and the last situation is when you need fast results. So as the expression goes, good things take time. And SEO is no exception. Good SEO especially takes time. And so a common question I get is, how long does SEO take? And it really depends. But it's usually 6 months. It could be longer or shorter depending on the state of your website SEO. So if your website is, the older your website is, the more content that you have, the better your technical SEO is, the more backlinks that you have. All these factors will make your website stronger, and so you're going to see results faster. So if you are in a situation where you need to sell something fast, so for example, if you are going to sell coronavirus t-shirts and you're only going to sell it next month for the span of 2 weeks, SEO is not a good option for you, right? Because by the time you see the results of your SEO, the product is no longer available. So SEO is a good option if you are selling something that is going to be around for a while. It's going to be relevant for the long haul. It's not just a one-time offering. even if it's a seasonal product, it's at least a once a year thing, right? It's once a year, but at least it's every year. So it's going to be used more than once. All right, I have a bonus situation here. And I talked a little bit about this in a video earlier this week. So this is a situation when you are a generalist in a very, very competitive industry. So this isn't to say that SEO is not a good idea at all. But sorry, let me rephrase that. This is a situation when SEO is not a good idea unless you're willing to be creative, unless you're willing to be flexible, because there's a workaround, there's a way around this. So an example of someone that might be in this situation, or a business that might be in this situation, would be like a lawyer that does all kinds of law, an accountant that does all types of accounting, or an HR firm that does all types of HR, right? Businesses that are generalists can't afford to be online. You can't afford to be everything to everyone. Imagine you are a lawyer, right? And you want to rank for the keywords lawyer New York City. That's a very, very competitive keyword. There are probably hundreds of, there are definitely hundreds of websites that are investing a lot of resources into getting onto that first page. So what you need to do is you need to specialize. You need to find a niche. The more niche you get, the less competitive the search engine results pages are going to be, and the better your chances are of getting onto Google without spending a fortune, because that's really what SEO is. SEO realistically is not rocket science, but it's this game of what can you do with little effort but maximum results. And as a small business, you don't want to spend every single day, every minute of your business creating content. You want to be able to create content that's really going to move the needle. So if you're a generalist, think about doing SEO from the point of view of a niche or a specialization. If you're not willing to specialize, if you really, really want to be a generalist, then SEO probably isn't a good option for you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. These are the 3+1 situations when SEO is not a good fit for your business. SEO definitely works for me and my clients, but that's not to say that it's the best solution in the world, or that we should rely solely on SEO. As a business owner, it's up to you to find out what your customers are looking for, find out their buying decisions. And when you can understand that, when you can understand your customers' buying decisions, it will be a lot easier to find marketing channels that are appropriate to you. So if after all of this, you decide, yeah, I still want to work on my SEO, none of these situations apply to me, feel free to email me at daniela@findabledigitalmarketing.com, or visit our website for more information about us, and we can definitely help you. So that's it.